Okay, now we're going to get into the final productivity misconception, and that is big is bad. Now, back when I was in high school, I remember I took this class called Career Pathways, and it was a class all about exploring different career opportunities and really try to inspire students like me to figure out what we wanted to do when we grew up. And so at the time, I was thinking, what are some of the hot occupations that I could potentially pursue? And obviously, when you're that young, it's, people are like, okay, being a doctor is very prestigious and it makes a lot of money, or being an engineer, or being a lawyer. And so as I was deciding, I was like, well, the doctor one seems like something that I could do, so let's go ahead and check that out. So I looked into what it took to become a doctor, and I realized that you had to go to a good school. It was like 8 years of schooling or even more than that. And I was like, okay, well, that's not for me because it sounds too hard. Then I was like, okay, well, a dentist is kind of like a doctor. It seems a little bit more easier. And I looked into, what are the qualifications you need to become a dentist? And it was also not as difficult as being a doctor, but it was still hard. And so I was like, well, too hard for me. And so I took a step down and thought to myself, well, what else can I do now? What's the next best thing besides a dentist? And I thought being a dental assistant, right? So I went from trying to become a doctor, it was too hard, then becoming a dentist, that was too hard, and then I thought that being a dental assistant was the answer for me. And so, I did the report on being a dental assistant. I went in front of my class to do a little presentation. Everybody has to do presentations, and I literally gave a 5-minute talk about how I was going to be a dental assistant when I grew up, and nobody said anything. Nobody said that I should reach bigger or reach for the stars or try maybe I should be a doctor or a dentist. Everyone thought it was okay, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that's just the life for me. Here's the truth, man. I thought that becoming a doctor was so difficult or becoming a dentist was so hard, that it was so big and out of reach that it was just something I shouldn't be doing. And obviously that was a lie, because I was just really selling myself short of a great life and an extraordinary life, because I thought things that were too big were too difficult. Here's the truth about thinking big. When you're thinking big, it enables you to ask different questions, follow different paths, and try new things. And when you think small, you really put yourself into a bucket of, limiting your possibilities. And I'm going to have an exercise for you to demonstrate exactly what I am talking about. So the first thing you want to do is you want to think about what your yearly income is. No matter what the number is, just have it in your head. Okay? So now that you got your yearly income, think about, where is it coming from? Is it your job? Do you own a business, or do you have investments that pay you every year? So wherever your income is coming from, just keep those things in mind. Now, you want to take whatever that yearly income number is and dream big. Imagine if you took your yearly income and you multiplied it by 2 or 5, or why not 10? Imagine 10 times the amount of money that you have coming in every single year. So that's going to be a big, extraordinary life. Imagine if you're into materialistic things. Imagine the cars you'll have, or the house you have, or the companies you'll own, and how you'll be able to use that money to help so many different people. And so that is truly dreaming big. And so now you're thinking, Patrick, well, that's great and all, but I don't see how I'm supposed to get there. 10 times the amount of money that I make right now, how is that even possible? And here's what I really want to share with you. We all have dreams, but the chances are we're not doing what we need to do to actually get there. And, being aware that you need to make changes in your life to achieve your dreams is really the first step to making any progress. So now that you have a direction on where you're going to step, and now you know that the path exists, just knowing something that is possible, that is really the first step to success. And really, it's up to you to walk that road. And I know this sounds a little cliche or a little too inspirational or maybe too Tony Robbins for you, but that's the truth. If you want to do extraordinary things in life and dream big and actually get those things done, you have to first believe it's possible. And then once you know that the path exists, you have to take the necessary actions to walk it. And I love diagrams, so I'm going to show you how thinking big can completely change your life. And so on the y-axis, we're going to have thinking, right? How your level of thinking from small to big. And on the x-axis is going to be your time and effort, the time you put in and the amount of work you put into whatever it is that you do. So if you are thinking small, meaning you're just, oh, I'm going to be a dental assistant. Not to say that there's anything wrong with being a dental assistant, but for me, there's a lot of aspirations that I have and a lot of people that I want to help around the world. So let's say, you're thinking small and you're just like, well, I'm not that smart, or I'm not that pretty, or I'm not this and that. So here are the results I'm going to put in. So either way, you're going to put in the same amount of time and effort into whatever it is you do, and you're going to get small results. Now, if you change your thinking and you think big, I'm talking 10x big, it's going to provide you a direction for you to walk. And so once you think big, you have a path for big results. And if you're actually putting all your effort and time into making those dreams a reality, you're going to get the results, a lot bigger results than you're looking for. And sometimes you may fall short. You may shoot for the moon and land on the stars, but at least you're somewhere. You're not thinking small. And this is something I truly, truly believe from the bottom of my heart. The ability for you to think big and believe in yourself and understand what your potential is the first step to being productive and achieving the things that you want to achieve. Because if you're only thinking small, you're only going to get small things done. This is a productivity course, but it's not about how to save an hour here or an hour there. It's about thinking about the things that you actually want in life, and instead of trying to shave the hours of your day and having more hours to get things done, why not just spend the time that you have, that you're already using to work, and go after the things that you actually care about. These things may be hard, but then if you actually put in the work, have the mindset to believe in yourself and go all in, that's when you're going to get the big results. So if you want to get more things done and you're already putting a lot of time and effort into something, now what you need to do to change the framework and make sure you have a great launching pad, you want to think big. And anytime in your life, if you think something is too big or too complicated, you really question that. Is it really that hard? Does it really take that much time? And a lot of times the answer is going to be no. So if you change your mindset from thinking small to thinking big, you're going to get the big results that you are looking for.